We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Warheads. I am Apocalypto Joe.
I'm Roscoe Brown.
Hey, I'm Aisha.
And I am Kana.
Welcome, everybody, and even including our guests. And before we get started, I also want to remind people to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. But I wanted to ask the panel, is there anything you want to promote before we get started with the show?
I'm actually good, even though last month was Mental Health Awareness Month. Still check on your people.
That's right. Check on your people. But today, the topic is marriage proposals, women proposing to men. We know that on social media, we've been seeing quite a few videos of women taking their shot with men that they love. And so, because that's the case and it's a break from the norm, I'm wondering, is this a new trend that might catch fire? Or is this just something that's spotty and, you know, it'll always be a spotty situation where women do stuff like this? I want to pose this question to the panel. Is this a form of desperation? Or could it be that because women are making equal money and in a lot of cases more money than men, that they have more options than they probably had in the past? And so I'll ask you, Aisha, what do you think is behind some of these marriage proposals that women are offering to men?
So with me, first of all, I would never do it. I just wouldn't. That's just not how I roll. But I guess with me, for me, my question would be, when did we lose the core value of tradition? Traditionally speaking, I wonder, are these the same chicks that'll be like, I don't need a man for nothing though? Same chicks that I don't need a man for nothing, but now you asking guys to marry you. I don't understand the point of it. I don't know if it's, I call everything attention whorish. I don't know if it's an attention whorish move, if it's see me because I can do this, or do they think that he's waiting too long to ask? I have several questions about it. I can't pinpoint exactly why they're doing it, and if it's a new trend. I personally don't like it, and I personally wouldn't do it.
What about you, Roscoe?
I don't like that. I don't like the fact that that the word trend is being thrown around with this. Me, it's crazy because I disagree with Aisha actually in this, because I really don't think we live in times where things are really set up in a traditional manner anymore anyway. I don't really look at things in a traditional mindset, and I think that it's really just a matter of adapting to the times. And times kind of state that things have changed. There's a lot of things that Joe said about women making more money and just the independence that they've seemed to gain over the last few decades or so. I really think that women, especially in the given the fact that a lot of these women scream being independent women and what have you, I don't see why anybody who's of that mindset wouldn't propose to a man. If you happen to see somebody that you love, you want to go after, why wouldn't you? I don't see the difference between a woman and a man making the proposal. We can add all the traditional elements to it, if you will, but me, it's the same for a man as it is for a woman. You see something that you like, you wanna make sure that you have this person kind of wrapped up into yourself. So yeah, why not the woman propose to the man?
What about you, Kana?
Well, I have to disagree with Roscoe on the fact that I understand that things change, but then there's a principle and the foundations that don't change, and that's higher percentages come in at. So like, as far as women proposing, we may see it as a personal experience, or we may see it on TV, and that's just a few shows. But really, when you look at the statistics, it doesn't pan out. It's only 5% of women in America that have proposed or do propose to men. It's not a popular, common practice, and it never has been. If you look back through time, and even biblical days, you always seen the man go to the father and ask the woman to marry. There is no place in the Word of God where you're gonna find a man, these are men asking, women asking a man to marry them. You know, the women did not possess the masculine traits like they do today, and the independence that they do today. And when I say independence, I am not talking about money, because even those women in those days, they had their husband's money, but then again, they did know how to go out there and search and do things they own to also bring in money too, even if it was how they looked. I'm just saying, Sarah was beautiful. She got the money. The king just threw all the money at her. So bring it back up today. I'm just thinking that, see, it really hasn't really changed. Men still ask women to marry them a lot more than women will. We just starting to see this little, and see, women, they do it. To me, I think it's a game. I think it's a game. I think it's cute. I think, you know what I mean? I think they're doing it just for attention. Test the man. It could come out of desperation and anxiety, which I did put that down. That, you know, I do believe that a woman proposing to a man is a sign of being anxious and desperate and not knowing her role or place as a woman, because a woman is not really thinking. See, women do stuff, but they don't see the whole picture up ahead. You asking a man to marry you, do you understand what a man does in a marriage? So basically you saying, I'm going to cast off my nurturing spirit. I'm going to cast off being a feminine woman. I'm going to cast off being these qualities to being a provider, a protector.
Well, can I say something to that though? Because I don't think that just
now, Roscoe, I didn't cut you off.
No. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Let me finish my point.
No, go ahead.
And then you come in. Okay, so what I'm saying with that is women are not thinking, because I'm gonna tell you what women do, because I know what women do. This is what women do. Prime example. Old boy, Gary Owens' wife divorced him, right?
Right.
But you know what? She wants him to continue to provide, even though they divorced. So why are you asking him for a divorce if you still need his money, take care of you and these children? Now you want to call him a deadbeat dad. Why I'm saying this is because women don't see the road ahead. I'm going to ask you to marry me, but I ain't thinking about when I marry you, you going to provide for me. You going to take care of the household. I'm not saying that he won't, but what I'm saying is you're saying to this man that I'm going to take these responsibilities, because that's a man's role. That's just period. His role is to be a provider. His role is to be a protector. His role is to be that man who commune with the Most High and he bring his answers back to his family. I'm traditional, but I'm not so traditional that I don't understand that somewhere along the line things do change. But as long as, to me, as it's still in according with an alignment with the government and the ideas and principles of the Most High, that's how I agree. Anything outside of that can cause confusion. And that's why women, when they do stuff and they ask for things, they realize, oh, I didn't know it was gonna be like that, girl. He ain't paid one bill. Well, did you propose to him? A lot of these marriages that women did propose to, they divorced. I looked that up. It's 8 celebrities out there. Elizabeth is one of them. Elizabeth Taylor. She asked a man to marry her, divorced. Patti LaBelle asked a man to marry her, divorced. I mean, these
well, let me step in.
I'm done.
You going
Now,
on filibuster? I know it's passionate for you, but I think you guys raised some very poignant points about we're no longer in traditional times. And so when you're not in traditional times, maybe these things are happening more. We just don't see them. You know, I've always felt that social media is a microcosm of what's actually going on in the world. And even if a woman isn't necessarily proposing like with the ring in a traditional sense, a lot of times nowadays, because women have the money, they're showing a man like, look what I'm bringing to the table. I'm bringing like monetary money to the table. I can help in a way to keep a household afloat. That maybe in the past a man was the only one who paid all the bills. And we also have to look at it through the lens of in the past when the man was just the only one bringing money. A lot of those relationships were very abusive. And now that women have their own money, they kind of can call some of the shots. We've heard countless stories of men hoarding the money, spending the money, and the women didn't know how to pay the bills. It's even a Plies video. I forget the name of the video, but Plies, he's supposed to be the head of this household, and his woman is stressing out on how she's going to pay the bills and stuff. And then at the last moment, he puts the money on the table, and all is right with the world. But in the meantime, in between time, he's stressing her out. And to me, that's a form of power and control. And so when you have a paradigm shift, if you will, where households are more egalitarian, you can have women who seek a man for whatever reason. Maybe, I don't want to say it's just about strength of character, but maybe he's delectable to the eyes. Maybe the sex is good, but she can afford to take care of herself. Whereas in the past, a woman would just settle for a good provider. And now they feel like they can have it all. I don't know. What about you, Aisha? Did you have anything else to add before we go back to Roscoe?
So again, I say this every video with the whole spiritual side. I'm not extremely spiritual, but we all have some spirit-filled moments. I actually really agree with your cousin. When it comes to me personally, I want a man's man. I mean, I want a man to be the head of the household. And just like when you start switching roles, I feel like that I can almost one up you. Well, I propose to you, so I want you to do this, and I'm doing this. Like, I want a man's man. I want a man to be a man. I want a man to provide. I want a man to take care. I want a man to guide. I want a man to lead. And I don't know if with these women proposing, if they feel like they take on that man's role. I get what you guys said about traditionally, we're not living traditionally no more, but why not? Like, why don't we? We mimic what we see. You know, we done lost value because grandma didn't teach me and great grandma didn't teach me. You know what I mean? Because every generation we lose it. We lose it. You know, it's almost like me being 30 and I got 3 grandkids that are 8. You know what I mean? It's just a traditional. Just we lose value on everything. I don't understand why the tradition can't be the way it is. A man is courting a lady, and this is who he wants to be with. He should propose. I'm going to
interject this because I hear a lot of women saying that they have alpha energy, which is oxymoronic because of the dynamic between a man and a woman. What it is that these women who are able to be emboldened because of their money, they're dealing with men who are, for lack of a better term, beta in the way that they approach their household. And I think what it is these women probably want more alpha men, but alpha men are not going to deal with a woman who's trying to put out alpha energy. I don't know. What's your take on this, Roscoe?
My take on it is I really think people get caught up in a lot of the verbiage, and one of the reasons why throwing tradition into it is, or at least to me, just a tad distasteful a little bit almost, because one, we don't live in those times, but 2, just because just because the woman proposes doesn't mean that the roles inside the house have changed around. It to me, I think we're speaking of two different things. If we're talking about the woman coming in as the more dominant person from the breadwinning side, and she's proposing, when to me, I'm taking the money aspect out of it. I'm just talking about a woman who loves a man, and she just happened to propose before he did, and so that doesn't mean that because she proposed to him that the roles inside the house have changed and she has to become the provider of the house because she's the one that asked him. If he's the one that's still making the most money in the household, then he would still be the provider in the household, and probably the same for her on the other side. So I think the determination of who leads the household from that standpoint only is determined by who's making the most money or whatever, and however they set up their dynamic. But those rules aren't specifically changed just because one proposed to the other one when the woman proposed as opposed to the man doing it first. So I don't think the rules in the house change because of that.
Can
I ask the question before you start, Dovey.
Sure.
So, and my general question, most women, I always use me and Roscoe because it's me and Roscoe. But say, for instance, most women in general dream about being married, finding them a mate, getting married, yada, yada, yada. So if me and Roscoe was together and we've been dating for a while, I've already played in my head, oh my God, I think I want to marry him. So in my head, I'm like, as soon as Roscoe asks me, I'm going to be like, yes, 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 yes. So if I asked you, and if we've been together for some years already and you haven't already asked me, how do I know if that's what you really want to do? So now I feel like that if I ask you to marry me, like I'm almost deboing you into answering to say yes.
No, but I mean, and this is the thing, it's just like relationships in general. You are taking the same roll of the dice that I would be taking if I was to ask you and you was to say no. So we're both taking the same exact chance in this situation, if you will. Okay. So there you have it.
Kana, let me ask you, in this day and age, if a woman who out earns her male partner and they're just dating, but she sees other qualities in him other than his what he earns, maybe she's looking at earning potential, maybe she's looking at it like, maybe I can add to him and raise up his annual income. Is that a good enough reason to look to a man to say, okay, he has all these other factors and the potential to be my husband? Would that be something that a woman could look at and say, yeah, I'm going to propose to this man because I see his value and his potential worth. It just hasn't been tapped into it because he hasn't been with the right woman and I'm the right woman. Is that something that could possibly be at the core of this?
See, even with that, I got a problem with that too, because, we got to be very careful. We have to be careful. I mean, we see today, and I'm gonna ask that question today, what changed our community? What changed our community was the Isley Brothers.
Go deeper.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. That song changed the dynamic of the Black community and the nuclear family structure of our people.
Wait, cousin. Was that one song?
Yes. It's your thing.
The one song in the timeline.
Yes. Fair use. But what I'm saying is, because even that question you just asked me, I'm like, the nerve for a woman to walk up to a man. Like, it's not that she can't add something. We supposed to be coming to this thing adding something to one another. Where one lacks, the other one's gonna pick up. But when we dealing with the finances, that no. I just say like this. Even if a woman do make more than a man, just like Roscoe said, because he said that he don't see the roles changing. And I wasn't saying necessarily that they will change. I was just saying that there's a responsibility that comes from, and I always had this idea or this opinion, and I actually did some research and found a few people or authors that had the same idea about that responsibility that can fall on a woman, or that will if she did do that. So, you know, a man, I think that if two people come together, it's like that zine, you know, it's kind of like a woman could be with a man and a man don't do no good. He can't, but he'll divorce her, or she'll leave. He'll get with somebody else and become a millionaire. But that just got to do something with connecting, you know, fitting, you know, vibing together. You know, it's just that couple has something that this other couple didn't. And I've actually seen that happen too. I've listened to pastors that have said, I left one woman, they shouldn't, but I left one woman, went to the next woman, and I blew up. You know, so it just depends. It's a dynamic, you know, it's a zine, you know, when you vibing with somebody, it just depends. But when a woman, see, to me, a man, when he comes to a woman, he is not looking at her money unless he's just looking for somebody with some money to take care of.
Let me say this, there are plenty of homosexuals out there today.
I didn't say it wasn't, but I'm not talking about the homosexual. I'm talking about the man, the real man, the man that was taught to be the provider, the protector. I'm not talking about these men out here playing these little games. See, that's the problem. We got that crop though. That's reality. But we ain't talking about, that ain't the crop I want. I want the crop that's meaning business. We mean business here. But let me also go back to disagree with you, cousin, or was it Roscoe? It was you, cousin, whoever it was. I do not believe that tradition is out the door. That's not true, because I can walk down my block right now, and most of the people on this block are married with children, and ain't no LGBT. I'm sorry, you had to edit that, but it ain't no LGBT. I'm just saying, if I walk down this block, I don't see nothing but men, women, and children. And you know what? That's tradition.
Yeah, and you're gonna always see.
Why y'all always like to butt in on me?
No, because
we need to share.
I let y'all talk, and y'all always cutting me. I don't like that.
well, you know, we ain't trying to cut you, but you know we got to stick to a structure.
We have limited time to go around to everybody. That's why I asked for 2 to 3 minutes on the.
I wasn't even talking 2 to 3 minutes.
You said that
you were going for a million minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, it not see. And Aisha, you said something too about the spiritual aspect of things. You know what? And not only is God spiritual, he's practical. He's practical. He's a practical God. And see, the reason why he say stuff to do certain things a certain way is to have a better outcome for your own good. It's just like a parent. I ain't giving you no keys at 16, because I know if I give you keys at 16, you might go out there and run into a pole. So wait a little bit, not go, or 14. Here's
the thing though, cousin. We don't really live in a spiritual society. We live in a transactional society.
That's why I said practical, cousin. That's why I said practical.
Right, but we have to.
But you can't take that out, and I won't take that out.
I'm not gonna take that out. Whatever's on the record is on the record. But we have to look at the macro and not the micro. Yeah, there are a few people who are practical, but in the macro, we live in a transactional society. How many times have you heard people talking about get the bag this, you know?
But cousin, that's not, we have to do the statistic on that, because not every, look, What we see on TVC, the media aggrandizes things. It blows things up to make it seem. It's just like this whole little thing that going on with the little medical procedure, the jab and all that. Look, the media can blow things up and make it seem as if.
Matrix. You're absolutely right.
But that don't mean it's like that. Like I said, I can go down 2 or 3 of these blocks, and all these people over here is married with children. That's traditional.
That
That's all I'm saying.
that there's
Ain't
not
done away with.
That doesn't mean that there's not a financial burden that they're carrying when they're looking for a spouse. You see what
I didn't say it was.
And here's something I want to add to it. I will go even further and say that just because you see a family structure doesn't mean that they're living by traditional values.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the optics.
You're right about that.
No, wait. Let me just say this, Let me just say this. That
okay.
Just because you see the optics of family, which you're always going to see, because that's how people are reproducing. You're always going to see families, but that doesn't mean that they're living a traditional family structure. Just giving off of what you see.
I get that, but Roscoe, without that, marriage is traditional. That's my point.
No, wait.
Yeah, listen. What I'm saying to you is, if a man and a woman is married, that is tradition. That is something that was okay. That's it. I don't care what go on in their house. What I'm saying is, statistically, if we put how many people is married on this block, that's still a traditional measure. That's still saying they did something traditional. Whether I don't care who cooking and cleaning and who bringing on the field. I don't care about all that.
You gonna have to, now see why Kevin Samuels got a mute button now. Now see why Kevin Samuels got a mute button now.
I don't care about what they got going on in their house.
Wait.
The bottom line, and like I tell people all the time, I tell them this, I say, should a woman propose to a man? Because that's what we're talking about, right? So if a woman proposes,
I know that's what we're talking about.
Wait.
But now you just, can I just say this? Because you have to let other people talk too. No. You have to let other people talk. No, you're not right now. You are not letting other people talk. So let me just say this.
My bad.
Let me just say this.
I feel bad.
I agree with you in the fact that we want marriages. If you whether or not the man proposes or the woman proposes, we want marriage, especially in our community. We need marriage. We need families.
I agree.
But let me say this. Just because this man and this woman has gotten together doesn't mean that they have to live by some standard of whatever society deems as the traditional way to do things. Because but I'm just saying there's a million ways to skin a cat.
Yeah, but I'm not tripping off that. I don't care about that.
And I think that's all. Again, we just
actually, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to say is that we kind of agree with each other on some level. It's just verbiage that we getting caught up on. That's it.
So you're right. I don't have no qualms with that at all. I just say if a woman gonna propose, if she gonna propose, it ain't that a woman shouldn't propose. It's just the fact that she shouldn't have to. And like Aisha is saying, we want men. We want men to take the lead. You men keep.
I'm just saying, why isn't he a man? Because he, like, I consider myself a man.
I didn't say he wasn't no man.
No, I'm just saying.
We want a man.
I've been proposed to a lot of times. I haven't accepted any.
Why? Okay, why?
No, but why not? Why haven't I accepted the proposals? Because it wasn't the right situations. That's all.
So I'll say this in closing. And this is what I always say about the variables that are included with a situation like this. It's different strokes for different folks. There's no such thing as a monolithic way of doing things in a free society, even though our freedom is relative. There's no such thing as a monolithic way of doing things. There will be women who propose. I've had proposals in the past. I didn't accept any. Should I have? Probably.
Y'all doing better than me.
Proposals, probably. But I can tell you, for the man that I am, that wouldn't have made me any lesser of a man had I accepted the proposal. You have to look at each individual like a snowflake. Some women are proposing to homosexuals because some women just can't be alone. And they found some dude who's willing to ride with them, and they're crazy or they're loving nature or whatever the situation may be. And so with that being said, like Roscoe said, he doesn't think it's a trend. I don't think it's a trend. I just think it's a trend on social media. And you even said it yourself, Kanad, that it's like 5%. 5%.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
It's still 5%. So with that being the case, we always leave it to the audience. Draw your own conclusions. We're just having a discussion here, trying to raise some questions about this stuff. At any rate, we always want to ask you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Warheads. Throw up your W's, Aisha. You too, Kanai.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Hey, this not only for Warheads, this is for West Side.
No, see, you messing up.
No, you being disrespectful now. Warheads.
Why she put numbers on my fingers?
Hey, thanks for having me, you guys. You know, I didn't mean to talk over nobody. I apologize.
No, you did a great job.
No,
man.
you were awesome.
We need to unleash you to the world.
Super great.
You
Super
were
fast.
awesome.